Good evening and welcome to Flip Math. We're still in our unit of measurement, and tonight we're going to be working with customary conversions. Go ahead and write down our learning outcome for tonight. I can convert between customary capacity measurements. Pause the video and record it now. So I went ahead and placed our customary conversion chart here for capacity because we're about to do a problem with capacity. So we learned this chart today, so you already have it down in your notebook. You don't need to write it down. I'm just going to review it. So 1 cup is equivalent to 8 fluid ounces, 1 pint is equivalent to 2 cups, 1 quart is equivalent to 2 pints, and 1 gallon is equivalent to 4 quarts. So now that we kind of have refreshed our memory with that, now we're ready to get started with our practice problem. Our problem for today says, Max had a lemonade stand where he sold lemonade for 25 cents a cup. On Monday, he sold 17 pints of lemonade. On Tuesday, he sold 29 pints of lemonade. On Wednesday, he sold 13 pints of lemonade. How many total cups of lemonade did he sell over all 3 days? If every cup is worth 25 cents, what is the total amount Max earned in dollars? The very first thing I'm looking at is I'm noticing that my amounts for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are all in pints, and the question asks me about cups. So I know that I need to look over here at my chart and figure out how much 1 pint is equivalent to in cups. I see that 1 pint equals 2 cups. So to start my equation, I'm going to make one for Monday. Knowing that I have 17 pints here and each of these pints is equivalent to my 2 cups, I'm going to go ahead and set up an equation. My equation for Monday, and I use the variable m to represent m for Monday, is equivalent to 17 times 2, and I know when I multiply 17 times 2, I get 34 cups. Now I know I need to multiply Tuesday and Wednesday, both of these amounts, by 2 also. So I go ahead and for Tuesday, and I go ahead and get my equation. So for Tuesday, that's equal to 29 times 2. When I multiply that together, I get 58 cups. For Wednesday, I have 13 pints, and I need to multiply that by 2, and I get 26 cups. Now that I have each of my conversions done from going from pints to cups, and how I know that I did that correctly is 1 pint is equivalent to 2 cups, so I multiplied each of my amounts by 2 cups. Now I look at my question and I see they don't want to just know the total for each day. It says the total that he sold over all 3 days. So I know that I'm going to have an addition problem here. I'm going to go ahead and set up an equation for all 3 of my days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. When I add these together, I get 34 plus 58 plus 26. That equals 118 cups. After I've gotten to this point and I've done the first half of the problem, I can't forget about this second question. If every cup is worth 25 cents, what is the total amount Max earned in dollars? So I'm thinking about it, and I have to think of what operation could I do where I would get, if I was doing for all of these 118 cups I have, I need to do 25 cents for each of them. So I think in my head, okay, if I'm going to do something like equal groups or repeated addition, that's the same as multiplication. So I go ahead and set up my problem. Now would be a good time, now that I've set up my problem, 118 times 25 cents, or 25, this would be a good time to use a calculator. Students and parents, remember there will be a calculator active portion on our EOG as there is on all of our benchmarks. It's good to have an idea of how to use the calculator and being used to use it at times for problems that we already know we know how to do. And it would just be easier for this problem to solve that way. Go ahead and use a calculator maybe on a cell phone or one that you have laying around and multiply 118 by 25 cents. Remember to type in our placeholder, our decimal point, and 25. If you got $29.50, you would be correct. So Max earned $29.50 over the 3 days, and he had 118 total cups of lemonade that he sold. Now I'm ready for my next practice problem. I've done one customary conversion problem where I was working with my capacity, and now I'm going to be working with length. So I have a different conversion chart over here. I've got feet, yards, and miles, and inches. So I have all of that over here to help me. Our problem reads, Ernesto has 3 feet of plastic ribbon used for making woven keychains. He wants to give his plastic ribbon to his 6 best friends, so each friend gets the same amount. How much plastic ribbon will each friend get? Record your solutions using fraction and inches. So the first thing that I need to do is set up an equation. I see that I've got 3 feet here, but I need to know in inches. So I look over on my chart and I see that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. So if I've got 3 of them, I have to do 12 times 3. I get 36 when I multiply 12 by 3. Now that I know that I've got 36 inches, I've got to figure out if I have 36 inches of ribbon and I want to give my 6 best friends an equal piece, then I need to set up a new equation. This time I'm using division. Because my number, I'm not getting any more ribbon, so I'm not multiplying or adding. We got to remember when we look at this problem, we don't just take these numbers and just start doing a random operation. In this problem, I know that my amount should be getting smaller because I'm giving away ribbon. So I'm dividing on this one. So I do 36, my total inches, divided by how many friends I have, which I have 6 friends. I get 6 inches as my answer. That's all that the question asked for, other than I need to know that 6 inches is equivalent, because it says to use in fractions. What would the fraction be of 6 inches compared to a foot? So 6 inches is half of 12 inches, which would be 1/2. So each of Ernesto's friends will get 6 inches of ribbon, or 1/2 foot of ribbon. So I did what the question asked. My answer is in inches, and it also has a fraction. Here are my practice problems for tonight. You have one in capacity and you have one in length, just like I did. Your first problem reads, Carlos and 8 friends are planning for a pizza party. They purchased 2 quarts of milk. If each glass holds 8 ounces of milk, will everyone get at least 1 glass of milk? Explain your thinking. Number 2. The weatherman was trying to calculate how many inches of rain fell in the summer. He found that in June there was a 1/2 foot of rain. In July there was 8 inches of rain. In August there was 3/4 foot of rain. How many inches of rain fell that summer? To guide you at the top, I've put both of our conversion charts that we'll need up here. Go ahead and solve these math problems in your journal and show your notes and your answers to your teacher in the morning. Happy solving!